For many days, the Gregory yacht has been held captive in the slip between two of the piers on the strange Isle of Euclidia, the Magic Island. The rescue boat sailed from Los Angeles with Johnson in command and was prepared to aid in rescuing Mrs. Gregory and her party from the island. However, radio messages between this boat and the Gregory yacht were intercepted, and Johnson's boat captured and towed to the island by a Euclidean submarine. Johnson was not aboard, however, and now he is bound back to Los Angeles to prepare another rescue expedition. Jerry and Joan are getting some mysterious instructions from Captain Bradford in the radio cabin on the yacht.
We'll do it exactly like you tell it, Tex, won't we, Joan?
Certainly. You may depend on Jerry and me to carry out your instructions, Captain. Even if there were some little danger connected with it, it would still be better for Jerry and myself to attempt it, as Captain Bradford would excite more suspicion trying to gain admittance to the laboratory.
I suppose you're right, dear, but it all seems so wild and terrible.
Now, don't worry, Mrs. Gregory. Joan and I'll bring home the bacon.
I know you will, kid. You and Joan can do the work of any two men I ever worked with. Now, listen. This thing isn't going to be difficult if you'll do exactly as I say.
Yes, Captain.
You and Jerry go over on the island. Start poking around into corners and act curious. Don't get anyone too angry at you, but try to get yourselves taken to G47's laboratory if you don't get invited there.
Well, Joan knows all the places where we can bump into somebody who'll take us to G47, so the old guy will bawl us out. Then we ought to be able to figure a way to stay in the laboratory and watch them finish working out the formula they got from Mac.
But if you are in the laboratory when the formula's completed, you will be in danger from the gas.
Not if they do as I tell them. Now, here is a lot of cotton soaked in a solution I made for the purpose. You can carry more than enough for both of you in your pocket, Jerry, and it'll stay wet enough for an hour or more. Now, if you're in the laboratory, when the gas floods the place, stick some of that cotton in your noses. Hold your mouths tight shut. Breathe a little through your noses if you have to. Be sure to fall with the others and act as they do. Then when they're all asleep, get out fast and close the door. Call the other Euclideans and tell them something has happened in the laboratory. Then you get back here to this boat.
Won't the gas affect their eyes, Tex?
Not in the slightest. Its only possible effect is in the lungs. The solution on the cotton will absorb all you could breathe of it for 3 minutes. 1 minute will give you more time than you need. That's all.
Oh, Joan, my dear, I'm so afraid for you.
There is nothing to fear. We will follow the captain's instructions.
Well, come on. Let's get going.
Good luck, kids.
Now where? You lead the way, Joan. You ought to know all the places where we can get into trouble on this funny island.
I will take you to several places where we should be stopped and taken before G47 to explain our conduct.
Here we go again. I start to get the jitters every time I walk on the stone without making any noise.
We may get many of those jitters, as you call them, before this little task of ours is completed.
Oh, you think it's going to be tough, huh?
Tough?
I mean, we're going to have a hard time putting it over?
Precisely.
Now, what did I tell you about that precisely thing?
I will not say it again, Jerry, if you do not like it.
You know, Joan, you're about the swellest girl a fella ever had.
I like that, Jerry. I think you are a nice and clever boy.
That's what I like about you. You could see what a swell fellow I was right away.
Yes, Jerry, you make it very plain.
Yeah, huh? Oh, yeah. You mean it sticks out all over me. Well, you ain't so bad yourself.
Jerry, how often must I tell you that ain't is not correct?
I know all about it. Now let my manners and English alone and do something to help the plot along. Where can we get into trouble?
Right here, if you do not speak more quietly. Remember that the guard in the central control chamber is hearing all you say.
Yeah, that's right.
Then... Oh, Jerry, the elevator housing is rising out of the island. Someone is coming up.
Let's just stall along over to it. We might pick up some news along there.
I do not understand that stall. How is it possible to stall along? Is not a stall a small partition place?
Yeah. A stall is where they keep horses in English, but it means to go slow in slang. Hey, look who's coming out of the elevator.
Why, Jerry, it is Commander S1.
Nobody else. My girlfriend from the submarine.
But, Jerry, you said...
Now, don't start to cry. I know I called her my girlfriend, but it don't mean a thing. She's coming this way.
I think it would be well to use care in addressing the commander.
Okay, I'll watch my step.
It is indeed an unexpected pleasure to meet you, my dear Cleostra. And as usual, you are, of course, searching for trouble.
How did you know that?
Your indiscreet companion attracts trouble as a magnet does metal.
Okay, Commander, have it your way.
What is this? No sparkling retort from you, Hall?
I've got nothing to say.
That is likely, but under ordinary conditions, you would be saying it.
Saying what?
Nothing.
Oh.
You will pardon me, Commander, but Jerry and I would like to look around on some of the lower levels of the island. Would you care to accompany us?
Hey, Joan, wait a minute.
Quiet, Jerry. I have asked the Commander to accompany us if it is agreeable to her.
Well, maybe you know what you're doing. Go to it.
I will be quite willing to accompany you. I am free at the time, and it is highly possible I may be able to prevent your getting into trouble.
Yeah, that's just what I was afraid of.
Jerry!
Your remark confirms my suspicions, Hall. I shall accompany you. We will use the private submarine elevator. Follow me.
Now, look here, Joan. If this comes out wrong, it's your fault.
I feel as you say, Jerry. I have a bunch, and when
Hey, that's a hunch, not a bunch.
Of course, Jerry. Then I have a hunch.
Well, golly whiskers. So you've got a hunch, and you can use slang without choking on it. That's good enough for me.
You will enter.
Oh, hurry, Jerry.
Okay. In we go. Oh, this floor doesn't make any noise.
You must not pay any attention to Jerry, Commander. He is always looking for things which make noise.
Yeah, this island's too quiet for me.
I will take you where you may make a great deal of noise if you so desire. We will leave this car at the 5th floor.
That's where the main chemical laboratory is, isn't it?
Jerry.
Yes, the laboratory is there, as is this car. You may step out, Hall. And you, Cleostra?
Boy, that was service. 5 floors in about that many seconds and without a sound. Now where?
Follow me.
I know where we are going, I think, Jerry.
Where?
To the sound channel.
To the what?
Cleostra is correct. You wanted to make and hear noise. This chamber will give you ample opportunity.
What kind of a place is this? A special room for noise?
Precisely. We will enter here. Exercise caution in your voice and movements. The din will be terrific if you are careless.
There's more things on this island that do... Hey, listen to my voice. Gee, it sounds funny and loud, too.
I warned you to speak quietly.
This is the sound channel, Jerry, where all sounds are tested for their vibrations and penetrating qualities.
Here, for example, is a length of the Euclidean cloth with which you have lined your cabin. Put it over your head, wrap it tightly around your throat, then speak.
Hey, if this is a gag, I'll...
Try it, Jerry. I have done it before.
Okay. Well, how did it sound?
We could not understand your speech. The sound was barely audible.
Yes, Jerry. At a distance of a few feet, even that slight sound would not have been heard.
Well, I like it better this way. How am I doing?
Oh, Jerry, please. That makes such an awful noise.
This is the kind of a place I like, where you can hear all that's going on.
It is the only place on the island where nothing can be heard from without.
Jerry, the commander is right.
You mean this racket can't be heard out in the elevators or anywhere?
Precisely.
Then I can have all the fun I want to. Say, Joan, that gives me an idea.
I had hoped it would.
You had, huh?
The commander is waiting for you to speak, Jerry.
On the level, Commander. Nothing we say can be heard in any other place on the island? Not by their instruments or anything?
That has been definitely established.
And you brought us to this room on purpose. You did it to give us a chance to talk.
Exactly.
Swell. But, well, what if G47 finds out you brought us here? Won't that cause you a lot of trouble?
It would be very serious for the commander, Jerry.
But you brought us here anyhow. Well, Commander, I'm going to tell you something.
I might suggest that you hurry your remarks.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. Okay, here it is. G47 has a formula he thinks is an important one of Captain Bradford's.
The universal solvent.
You knew that?
Sure, she knew. I guess everybody on the island knows G47's after that formula.
Correct. Proceed.
Well, this formula they've got is not the solvent, but it is a real formula. And when they put the last ingredient into it and get the solution exactly right, it will kind of blow up. And the room will be filled with a gas that will put everybody in the room to sleep for hours.
And your plan is?
Well, Joan and I want to be in that laboratory when the gas fills the room. Then when the Euclideans are all laid out, we'll run out and report to the other Euclideans. They'll rush in the room and the gas will get them. It'll stay active in the big room for 24 hours.
And then?
Then we will notify Captain Bradford and Mother on the yacht. And our party will take over the command of the island, and everything will be... Oh, Jerry, we've made a mistake. The commander...
Hey, look here, Commander. You're on our side, aren't you? Commander. The Commander. What makes you look so funny? Joan, this thing's going wrong. Don't let her out that door.
Silence. You two young fools need have no fear of me. I was merely thinking if I could plan your safety in that gas-filled room.
Hey, Joan, listen to that.
Yes, Jerry. Oh, you are wonderful, Commander.
Time will tell.
Well, don't worry about the gas for us. We've got some cotton soaked in a secret solution to stick in our noses so the gas won't hurt us.
Very well. I will take you to the laboratory at once. I will explain your presence by saying I found you spying in the outer chamber. Then I will remain with you as if to guard you. And when the gas has done its work, you may bring the captain to take over the control of Euclidia.
Oh, boy, that's swell. Here's some of the cotton. Stick it in your nose now and shove it up the nostril far enough so it won't be seen.
Prepare yourselves. I will not need the cotton.
But, Commander, you said that you would be in the room with us.
I shall.
Then the gas will put you to sleep. It might even hurt you. And, well, I'm not sure.
That is of no moment. You are in the right. The Euclideans are wrong. I can serve you best by posing as a loyal Euclidean, even to the point of allowing the gas to overcome me.
Down in the secret chambers of the magic isle of Euclidia, an important experiment is underway. G47 has a formula which he believes to be Captain Bradford's universal solvent, and all of the Euclidean scientists are gathered in the main chemical laboratory to see the formula completed, while down inside the island, on the same level with the laboratory, Jerry and Joan are completing their plans, with the help of the Euclidean submarine commander, who has been won over to the aid of the Gregory party. They are in the sound channel, the only really noisy room on the island.
Well, I guess we might as well go in the laboratory and get it over with.
Do you not think it is time to start now, Commander?
It would not be advisable to arrive at the laboratory prematurely. If it is possible to plan it so, I think it best that you arrive just before the formula reaches completion. Then the scientists will be so deeply interested in watching the compounding of it that they will ignore your presence.
But they will have to know of our presence, will they not?
Sure, Joan. How about it, Commander?
We have agreed that I will take you into the laboratory as my prisoners, whom I have found spying in the secret chambers. Right?
Yeah, go ahead.
If I arrive with you two just before the experiment is complete, G47 will merely order us to stand at one side and wait the result. He will be too deeply engrossed in his work to do otherwise.
That is right, Commander. But what if we arrive too early?
G47 would then have time to question me as to your activities in these chambers, and would undoubtedly send me to deliver you as prisoners to the confinement chambers. Then you would be helpless, and the experiment would be finished without your knowledge.
You're right, Commander. But how can we tell when to go in there? Captain Bradford said they might get the formula finished any time from a few minutes to an hour.
I will go now to the laboratory, ascertain the degree of progress on the experiment, and return for you.
Boy, that's swell.
We will all be very grateful to you, Commander.
Do not let your gratitude carry you away at this early date. Many things stand between this little plan and the overthrow of Euclidia. Remain in this room. Speak to no one. I will return in a few hundred seconds.
Jiminy crickets, Joan. The island must be falling to pieces. What a racket that was.
It was just the closing of the door as the commander went out.
But when we came in, that door didn't make a sound.
But that is not the door we came in through, Jerry. We entered through one of the noiseless doors. This one is an ordinary steel door that has not been treated with the noiseless paint.
Boy, this is sure some place. Let's look it over while we're waiting for the commander.
You must walk gently on many parts of this floor.
Why? Will I fall through?
Certainly not. But the noise will be so terrific you will give yourself a headache.
Well, I can stand a little noise for once. Come on. We'll walk around in here. Hey, I can't hear a sound from this floor.
If you will observe the color of the floor, you will see that the particular strip upon which we now move has been treated with the noiseless paint, while the next section, that strip running parallel to this one, is just the raw metal. Step gently onto it if you wish.
Okay, here goes. Golly whiskers, what a place. I guess I don't need the noise as bad as I thought I did. That's better.
You see, Jerry, wonderful things have been done on Euclidia.
I'll say they have. Look at that workbench and the bunch of tools they've got there. Would it be all right if I looked at them?
I see no reason why you should not. But be very careful to return each tool to its proper place.
Oh, I'll watch it. These hammers look just like regular ones.
Some of them are. You will notice that some of the hammers are painted with a red coloring matter. Those are noiseless. The gray metal ones are ordinary hammers.
And some of those nails are colored, too. Are they noiseless?
Yes, Jerry. You may use that piece of discarded wood on the floor. Drive the various nails into it if it will furnish you with any amusement.
Oh, I know. You think I've got to have something to play with all the time. Well, don't forget, this is all new to me. And when I get you back to the world, I'll show you a few things that'll, well, you'll want to stay and play with all day, too.
I understand that, Jerry. I merely wanted you to know that I appreciated your interest in these things.
You do all right in politics, Joan. Well, here goes. I'm going to drive a regular nail into this board with a regular hammer. Jumping gee whiz. Did it make all that noise when I laid that little stick on that workbench?
Yes, Jerry. That portion of the bench and the piece of wood you chose have been made deliberately more resonant.
Giggling goldfish. Where's a quiet place on here and a quiet piece of wood?
Place that dark wood on the red-colored section of the bench.
Okay. There it is. Hey, not a sound.
Now, if you take one of the colored nails and a noiseless hammer, you may drive the nail in that wood with very little sound.
Well, I'll try it. It's a good trick even if it doesn't work. Gee whiz. That big spike went right through that board without making a bit of noise.
I think you would enjoy the noiseless saw also.
Huh? Noiseless saw?
Yes, Jerry. It is over here in the corner. Come right here beside me and you will be able to operate it.
Hey, your voice. Mine, too. They've lost that funny sound.
This corner of the room is soundproof, Jerry. Now, there is the saw. You start the motor, so...
That motor doesn't make a sound. Now, can I run a board through that saw?
You may.
This colored piece is one of the noiseless ones, huh?
That is right.
Well, here goes, then. Well, what do you think of that? The saw just eats its way right through that heavy board without a bit of noise. I'll bet Captain Bradford would like to get his hands on that formula.
Formula? Jerry, that reminds me the commander should be back by this time.
Oh, yeah. I hope she didn't get herself into any trouble trying to help us.
I think the commander would be too clever for that. But she is also too clever for you and me, Jerry.
What do you mean?
She could deceive us very easily and be telling G-47 all of the captain's plans.
You don't really think she'd do that, do you?
We learn our lessons well on Euclidia, Jerry. It is a school of fear, and one not easily broken away from.
But you got away from it easy enough. Just as soon as you heard your mother and the rest of us talking about a few of the things in our world, you figured out that this island wasn't so hot after all.
That is true, Jerry, but I have my mother. She will take me to her beautiful home in California. The commander has no reason to leave here.
Well, suppose she does give us away. We couldn't be any worse off than we are now. All prisoners on this island with no chance of getting away until Johnson goes to Los Angeles and comes back. And G-47's got a good chance to fix it so he won't ever come back. What's the difference, Joan? We're sunk anyhow. We might as well put up a fight for it.
I like you when you speak like that, Jerry. You are a brave, loyal boy. I think you are very fine.
Oh, kind of waking up, aren't you? You'll appreciate me someday.
Oh, here is the commander, Jerry. We must go to meet her.
She's got about as much expression on her face as a wooden Indian. You can't tell whether she's got good news or bad.
The time has come for us to repair to the laboratory. The experiment is nearing completion.
Oh, that's swell, Commander. Does G-47 know we're around here?
Your presence in the lower levels has naturally been reported, but fortunately, I have been sent to find you.
When do we go?
Immediately. First, let me give you a few brief instructions.
Of course, Commander.
Shoot?
Under no conditions.
Huh?
You must not even display a weapon.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commander. I didn't really mean to shoot. That means go ahead with your story.
I must have a translation of your complete vocabulary at another time. Now we will enter the laboratory and remain just within the door. Even if our presence is observed, we will probably be ignored. However, should G-47 have time to question us, remain silent. I will explain how I found you and brought you to the chambers.
I think that is a splendid plan. Do you not, Jerry?
Well, let's get going.
Precisely. Follow me. will follow me?
But what are you going to do with us?
That will be decided by G47. I will take you to him at once.
But we were not doing anything harmful, Commander. I was merely showing the sound channel to Jerry.
The extent of your misdemeanor will be decided by G47.
I see you have them with you, Commander.
I was ordered to take them before G47. Will you accompany me? This young fool Hall may become obstinate. He has more courage than brains.
I will accompany you. G47 made it quite plain that this boy and girl were not to be harmed. So you would find your ray gun useless. I can use force if necessary. G47 will question them immediately upon our arrival.
Hey, look here, you two. We haven't done anything wrong.
That is correct. Jerry and I were simply looking at the strange devices in the sound channel.
Nevertheless, you are on the lower levels without permission. Is that not so?
Well, yeah, that's right.
Then you must explain to G47. Silence. We enter the laboratory.
Gee, I thought the laboratory would be another of those silent rooms.
It is not silence for the benefit of many experiments which deal with sound. Normal hearing is indispensable.
Should I report our presence to G47?
It is not necessary. We are observed.
G47 is coming toward us now, Jerry. Say nothing to make him angry.
Then I can't say anything. That guy hates me for saying good morning.
Excellent work, Commander. You have brought them just in time. The work on the captain's formula is within seconds of completion.
I will take them to the confinement cells if you wish it.
No. I want them here. Bradford is a very clever man. It is entirely possible that he may have planned a little surprise for us at the completion of the formula. It will be well to have two of his friends near me at that time.
What do you mean, G47?
If anything unpleasant were to happen, it might lessen the captain's enjoyment to know that you too, young fools, had received a portion of the treatment.
You are wanted at the table, G47.
Yes. Come with me, you two. Over here, quickly.
Is that the stuff there?
Precisely. It has reached the boiling point. The process should be complete any second. Gas. Quick.
Jerry, I'm sleepy, Jerry.
I'm a joke.